Hello everyone! This is Running on Empty Food Review! Well, hello ladies, gentlemen, and everyone watching. Welcome one and all to this newest edition of the Running on Empty Food Review series. I'm your host, the Report of the Week. Thank you for checking in. It's been a while. Chick-fil-A is an establishment that they really don't do all that many releases. You know, you have those places like Burger King and Taco Bell, etc., that just pump out a new item pretty much every other week. But Chick-fil-A, on the other hand, you will be lucky, essentially, if there's maybe one new release a year. And again, that's usually pushing it. So it's a rare occasion when Chick-fil-A releases something new, especially a chicken sandwich. And it's always exciting, though, for me anyway, to try out a new release from Chick-fil-A, because generally speaking, and you know, granted this review is going to be what it is, but generally speaking, the releases from Chick-fil-A are pretty solid. And last year, I know they released I think it was a honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich, I think it was, and I know, regardless of what the name was, that was my favorite release of 2023, so we'll see how this is. But, you know, their last release was of very good quality, and we'll see how this one ends up being. Nonetheless, to the subject at hand. Chick-fil-A has released, for a limited time, their maple pepper bacon chicken sandwich. So what does it have on it exactly? It comes with a boneless chicken fillet. That was a big surprise to me because I know everyone usually likes the bone-in chicken with their sandwich. But anyway, it comes with a boneless chicken fillet. You could get it grilled or crispy. They've really been advertising the grilled variety, so that's what I got for the sake of this review, but if you want to get it crispy, you can do that as well. It has a toasted maple flavor brioche bun. It has pepper jack cheese, lettuce, it has bacon, and the bacon has a brown sugar blend along with black pepper coating it, and then it has sweet heat pickle chips. So an interesting combination of flavors here, and it'll certainly be, I think, an interesting sandwich. Yeah, at first, you know, when I saw the name, I mean, I was puzzled. I was looking at it, I was thinking maple pepper, you know, because you hear of black pepper, right? You hear of bell peppers, jalapeno peppers, but maple peppers, I wasn't really sure is that like some sort of new thing that they put on the sandwich or not. But then I realized that I was reading the name wrong, and it was actually the maple that's for the bun, and then it was pepper bacon. That was really, I don't even think you could call that a joke. I couldn't help myself. That's just a really stupid one. Now, you know, the name is perfectly fine. Now the price, though. $11 for this sandwich. Just a sandwich by itself. That is a bit steep, if I may say so myself. But is it any good? We'll find out. Comes in its own little box. All joking aside, I actually can smell a little bit of the maple, though. It's fascinating. Real chicken, real tasty. We'll take it out of the box. And I think I'll take it out of the wrapping too, but just so you could see. Okay, I could see the cheese. A lot of lettuce, very green, I must say. So I do want to get a full view of it, just so you could see what's on it. Okay. There's the bacon. Bacon, cheese, chicken, lettuce. And are those pickle chips? Are they there? Let's see. I see pickles. Wonder if these are just regular pickles or not. Guess we'll find out. The lettuce. Sweet Heat Pickle Chips, described as being. Thought they would look a little different than that, but suppose we'll find out. But we'll see if it has the right item or right ingredients or not in a moment. So anyway, you can see what the sandwich looks like. Now what I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to pause the camera, and I'm going to cut the sandwich in half just so you can see a cross-section, and then we'll try it out. So I'll be right back, and then you'll get a better look at the sandwich. And I've returned, and you can see right there real quick, again, just getting a little cross-section of the sandwich, just so you could see what it looks like. Now you could really see the chicken and everything, and there you go. So you know what's on it, I know what's on it, we all know what's on it, and now, let's see if it's any good or not. The maple pepper bacon chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. It's going in. I just wanted to pause the camera, and sometimes I'll do this lately, just because I want to make sure I have sufficient time to just deliver a complete analysis and ensure that I could then cover all the points that I want to. So, I am pleased to say, number one, that I feel the sandwich is of decent quality. I'm very happy with it. Number two, and maybe some of you were wondering this too, because I know I was, when I first saw the pickles that were obviously on the bottom of the sandwich, you know, because a lot of the time, I've seen other places do this, when they say they have these sweet heat pickles, a lot of the time, I always imagine these little, as though they're almost fried and crispy in a sense. This is the approach that so many places take. And the pickles, you know, purely based on visual confirmation, looked no different than the regular ones. I thought to myself, you know, Chick-fil-A, generally they're very consistent when it comes down to actually getting things right. And normally, I mean, granted, every place can make a mistake here and there, but Chick-fil-A doesn't really make very many mistakes, based on my experience with them, which is quite extensive. And I was thinking, so let's see what it tastes like. Those pickles are correct, though. There is a little bit of spice to them, so even if they look like the regular pickles, they are indeed the Sweet Heat Pickle Chips. Alright, so the sandwich itself. I think some people will be going into this with, they won't necessarily be sure what to expect. And here is what I mean by that. Some people might go into this thinking that, is it going to be on a sweet note, or is it going to be more spicy and then sweet? Or, you know, is it going to be more sweet and then spicy? Which sort of flavor is going to prevail here? And I will say that the prevailing flavor that I notice here is sweetness. Not to say that there isn't a spicy note to it, but I really wouldn't go as far as to describe this sandwich as being overly spicy. Because some people might see some of the ingredients, they might think, well, you know, it has the pepper jack cheese on it, it has the Sweet Heat pickle chips, it even has, you know, some of the little bit of a black pepper on it as well. So, I mean, maybe they are going for a sort of spicy note here, but really it's not that spicy. The spice that I notice is mild at best, and it's more of what I would describe as a flavorful spice, as opposed to a novelty spice, you know, where it's supposed to be as spicy as possible, regardless of anything else. So this is not the sandwich that if you want something really spicy, to go get that. I would say if you want the spice, you'd be better off just getting their spicy Chick-fil-A sandwich. However, taking that into consideration, it's a tasty sandwich. The first thing that I noticed, because when I usually get a sandwich from Chick-fil-A, I usually go the crispy route. That's just my preference. That's what I like. I don't really get the grilled chicken fillet all that often. And what my principal concern was initially is the moisture level as far as the chicken fillet is concerned. Because there are so many places now that you get the grilled option and the thing is bone dry. It's like they kept it on the grill for way too long, or they just had it sitting out all day, and it feels like you're biting into this. Sometimes it just tastes like it really charred and dry. And I thought, I wonder how, Chick-fil-A is going to prepare this. And I was pleasantly surprised immediately from the first bite. It's tender, it's juicy, it's flavorful, and it's of surprisingly good quality. It was actually better than what I was anticipating it to be, because again, a lot of places, they just really struggle with the grilled variety for some reason. So I wasn't really sure what to expect, but there's really no sort of burnt flavor, no char, none of that. I would say it's cooked excellently and very flavorful. I always do enjoy the chicken fillet from Chick-fil-A. It's iconic for a reason, of course, and the quality holds true here as well. The chicken is of excellent quality. Again, very flavorful, juicy, and I have no complaints whatsoever as far as the chicken is concerned. What I notice immediately as well, following the flavor of the chicken fillet, is the sweetness. And it's a nice combination between the brown sugar that's on the bacon strips, and that is quite potent. You really do notice that in every bite. But then there is that little bit of a maple note that is in the bun itself. And as you could see, there was, a decent amount of the bun, but I would say it is proportionate to the amount of the other toppings on it as well. But there is a nice combination, again, of that brown sugar as well as that maple flavor that is infused into the bun itself. And that was actually nice to see as well, because you also have these places that will try to infuse something into the bun and fail miserably. But in this case, they did a good job with it, I would say. And it's got a nice sweet note. It's not overwhelming, though. It's not overbearing or overpowering. It complements the grilled chicken fillet very nicely. It blends together very nicely, brown sugar especially. Complements it just fine. The bacon also is of decent quality, a nice crisp to it as well, and does still have that little bit of a fattiness to it, but again, happy with the bacon likewise. Now, otherwise, the lettuce is crisp and it's fresh. Some of the most vibrant looking lettuce, and I say that with no exaggeration, that I've seen in a while. And you could go back to some of the other reviews that I've done of chicken sandwiches with lettuce on it, and so often you have these floppy looking, practically wilted pieces of lettuce that are just pitiful. And this, as you could see, very vibrant. It's fresh, it does have a nice little firm crisp to it as well. The lettuce is definitely higher quality, I would say. And then, of course, the pepper jack cheese. If there's one thing to mention, maybe it's that the pepper jack cheese isn't necessarily as flavorful as everything else on the sandwich, because every other ingredient is very evident, it is very flavorful, and so then you would expect the pepper jack cheese to be quite flavorful as well. But that's sort of just there. I wouldn't really describe this as being much of a cheesy sandwich, and the pepper jack cheese, again, it's not all that noticeable, so that might be a little bit of a point of detraction for some. If you were really hoping for that flavor, you're probably not going to notice the pepper jack cheese as much. But again, those sweet heat pickle chips, they do provide a little bit of spice as well. Any spice on this is on the more mild side. It's, again, a flavorful spice, quite light if you ask me. It complements all the flavors nicely, just a little bit of a spicy note that I think helps tie everything together. But really, The sweetness is the main characteristic here, with, again, that little bit of a spicy note that maybe it helps offset some of the sweetness. It prevents it from being too much. But all in all, aside from the pepper jack cheese, I would say it's a good sandwich. I think it's of good quality. It's flavorful. Again, I do like the sweetness. I think it's very pleasant. And that little bit of a spicy note, too. Nothing too crazy, but it complements it nicely. So, all in all, I would say that it's a decent sandwich, all things considered. And only other point that I want to raise is the price, $11 for it. Yeah, I like Chick-fil-A. I am a fan of Chick-fil-A, but I'm not a fan of the price, to be fair. $11 for really any fast food sandwich is not something I can get behind. I know it's the nature of the beast. It is the way that it is. But still, I wish it wasn't $11. Although at least you could say, well, if I want to cough up the money, I'll be getting a good sandwich at least. But of course, I wish it was a little cheaper. But at least it tastes good for what it is, and it is of good quality. I would say that Chick-fil-A hit the mark with this sandwich, and I'm happy with it. Quite happy with it. I think it's one of those items that I would go out and I would get again. I am impressed by it, and I'm very happy with it. So the maple pepper bacon chicken sandwich, good quality, nice sweet note to it, not overpowering, not overwhelming, and a pleasant mild spice to it that ties everything together as well. So therefore, out of 10, what am I going to rate this sandwich from Chick-fil-A? Like I said, I'm a fan of it. I'm happy with it. I'm going to rate this a 9 out of 10. And again, I would have rated it higher if perhaps I could taste the pepper jack cheese a little bit more, and if the price were slightly lower. If those two things were corrected, this would probably get a 9.5 out of 10, quite frankly. Chick-fil-A, they're one of those establishments, I have to say. They don't release too many items, but what they do release, I think they genuinely care about. I think they really do put thought into it. And it's not like so many places that are just going to slap some garbage together and just do a quick, cash grab or something, because there's so much laziness that you see also with so many releases, just recycling the same old stuff and charging it more and more and more, and or bringing back the same thing for the 15th time. I respect that they put genuine thought, I think, and care into their releases, and it shows. So you might say, oh, but Review Bra, you like everything from Chick-fil-A. Well, maybe I do, but it's because they actually do a good job on it. And it shows, and that's overwhelmingly evident. So, more places, I think, need to honestly see what Chick-fil-A is doing and take a few lessons from them, learn a few lessons from them, because so many places are going more and more downhill, but Chick-fil-A is still maintaining the standards, and good on them for doing that. So I think more places need to see what they're doing and sort of learn something from it, if you ask me, but that's just my opinion. And I think I've talked too long, so I'll wrap it up. That's all that I have for you. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm your host, The Report of the Week.